This program contains subject matter and language that may be disturbing to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Real news, it's not fake news.
That's along the line.
Am I allowed to say that? Oh, I'm not political. Anyway, guys. So yeah, we're ready. 1 second.
The left are liars. Stop the fucking bullshit.
Bye. Go home to mommy.
Army or a group. It only takes one person to fight for freedom.
Savage Unsuited.
Hey-o, what's up, guys? How you doing? Happy Thursday, guys. Wow, the month is rolling right by. It's Thursday. It's September 7th. I mean, we're just about in the middle of the month. The month is flying by like something fierce. I mean, just the other day, I thought it was still in the middle of August. I mean, Shaky had to hit me upside the head sometimes, just to remember. Like, Michael, we are in September. We're not in August anymore. I'm like, you know what? You know how I could tell we're not in August anymore? The humidity here in Florida is starting to go down. It really is. I for the last 3 days, we've been having this beautiful breeze, coming from both angles, because I live in the middle of the state, guys. I live in Orlando. So what's great, when the humidity does go down, which it does take Orlando a little bit because the fucking sun is like beating right on the middle of the state, But when it does go down, we have breezes that come from both sides of the Atlantic and the Gulf, and they just come right in, and it's beautiful. It's like a suction of wind that just blows right at you, and I love it. And I love this weather. But I'll be moving away from this hot humidity of a state in the next month and a couple weeks from now. And I can't wait. I'm going back to the Peach State, and home of the Georgia Bulldogs and the Atlanta. What the hell is it? Excuse me. Correct me, right, Shaky? The Georgia Tech Hornets, right? And I mean, Bulldogs, Hornets, right? I mean, I like how they stuck with Bulldogs. That sounds like a tough name, but Hornet? I mean, come on, that sounds weak and wimpy. Hornet. We're the Georgia Tech Hornets. For all my Georgia Tech fans that tune in right there on Spring Street in Midtown Atlanta, I'm sorry, but I'm not a big fan of your college there at Georgia Tech. I'm not a big fan of your football team. Your football team sucks.
Excuse me?
They keep on getting beat by the Georgia Bulldogs, and you guys are, it's terrible, I mean, yeah, what? Yeah, Joseph in the green room saying we should change the name to Murder Hornets. Yeah. We gotta change the name and rename to the Murder Hornets because they suck. They really do. But other than that, we're not going to talk about the Georgia or Florida or the humidity here. I just wanted to open up with that, give you a little glimpse of my daily life sometimes every now and then. But guys, we're going to talk about what's going on in the news. First, I want to see if Joseph has anything to relate here to the show.
Yeah, the weather up here, it should be cooling down, but it's actually warmer than most of the summer days we've had right now. It's backwards. So we had a milder summer here, and all of a sudden it's hotter than hell out. It's like it's confused. And you guys were joking with me about my mug the other day. So
fucking thing is huge.
My one, you know what? I was at 7-Eleven, and they've got a 2-liter mug. So yeah, there's an even bigger mug. But I didn't buy it. I was considering buying it.
Yeah.
I was thinking about buying one just as a gag, but $5 for the gag. Because I already spent $10 for my whiteboard for a gag, which has got eat more chicken for Chick-fil-A on it. Hopefully we could get Chick-fil-A or a burger joint to sponsor the show. And yeah, we're
yeah, Joseph, you put the R backwards. Do you realize that?
Yeah. The R is backwards, the K and the E is backwards, like they do on their billboard. And you're right, we're in September, so I've got on my 9/11 shirt since I dig out every September.
Yeah, we're right around the corner, guys, with 9/11. I mean, it's been what 22 years to this day, just about since the dreadful day that happened on American soil from the cowardly terrorists that decided to blow up our World Trade Centers. So I first and foremost, guys, before we continue the show, I think it's necessary, guys, that we do pay a respect and tribute to the members of the Fire Department of New York City, the Police Department of New York City, both on New Jersey and New York, because New Jersey was assisted as well in handling that, along with parts of Philadelphia, downtown Boston. Huge assist with that. So I think it's necessary and it's required here, I think, by us here, guys, and everybody here in America to basically do a salute and an honor to the families that lost loved ones. So we're gonna do a moment of silence here. We're gonna do a moment of silence here, guys, and yeah. So, Joseph, do you have any comments, man? Like with
yeah. Well,
with
in terror strikes coming soon to a city near you, of course, comes to the forefront again every time this year. I dedicate, of course, to the fallen that day, those who fell, then, abroad in Afghanistan, the first responders that fell or are suffering now due to, the toxic fumes and everything at Ground Zero, the toxic pile there. So this time of year definitely always gets to me. I know a lot of people said never forget, but they've moved on and they don't want to think about it, which is in part why Terror Strikes Coming Soon to a City Near You was a necessary book, that it's not just a New York thing. It can happen anytime, any place. And just because during the Wuhan hysteria you didn't see terrorism on the news every day doesn't mean it went away. It's not like they said, let's turn our AK-47s into plowshares. They're still engaging. They could still hit us anytime, especially with the open borders. They're flowing over in droves. Hundreds have been caught on the terror watch list. How many thousands have poured across in the gotaways that we don't know are here?
Yeah. I mean, and, for those that are not aware, I mean, the day 9/11 was renamed by former President Donald Trump to Patriot Day, in honor of those, because, Joseph, they were true patriots, man, that literally paid their life, and talking about unity here in this country. I've never seen, I was young then. I mean, I was in my, early 20s then when this happened, but I mean, early 20s, late teens. But I've never seen so much unity in my life. People coming together for once. Okay, there was no hatred. There was no, none of the bigotry, none of the smearing that you see today. Everybody came together as a nation and helped one another. And, you would see fire departments from, as far near as Philadelphia and New Jersey and Boston, police departments, assisting, coming in. Mayor Giuliani, getting his hands dirty doing what he can as a mayor. I mean, the city literally came together that day.
Yeah,
and I don't think nobody will ever forget that day.
Well, I sad to say, I think some have and some moved on, and some literally, the fascocrats, literally have more in common with the terrorists that attacked us that day, in common with them, and are trying to destroy us from within. And so I'm glad we're taking the time to talk about this briefly. This Saturday, which is Saturday the 9th, my Constitutionalist Politics will be on 9/11, and thelibertybeacon.com piece will be about 9/11. I hope people will check that out. Obviously, being an author of a book on terrorism, this time of the year is something that I have to talk about.
On a typical day, there are thousands of people going hundreds of places.
My battery keeps dying.
I'll borrow mine if you want.
But today, a girl and a boy will meet.
Sorry, I don't share electronics till the third date.
No, I suppose it is quite intimate.
And it will change everything.
You're the song I haven't written yet. You're the one I never will forget.
The odds of finding your soulmate are slim to none. The odds of finding them again, good luck.
I lost his number, but I need to find this guy that I met on the plane. Sounds really stupid.
Sounds brave.
She could be anywhere, but I can't stop thinking about her.
What good is a chance if you don't take it?
You know, you tend to chop wood when you're upset.
I'm upset. I just couldn't sleep.
Because you're upset?
Are you upset?
Yeah, she lied to you. To us. For months.
So, what are you looking for in a partner?
Intelligence, dependability. I'll just be honest with you. I have a track record of crappy relationships. I'm definitely not a perfect person, but I know I deserve love.
We all came to this experience trying to find love.
Having somebody that understands me, that reassurance, I think that is beautiful.
For some people, it was love.
I'm so proud of how far we've come this year.
And for some people, it was friendship. It was growth.
He's literally my best friend. Our love story is just getting started.
Savage. Yeah. And, guys, it is September 7th. We are, honoring 9/11 a little bit earlier than we would usually do. If those had checked out the show last year, we had Joseph on, and of course Jimmy the Rant, which is no longer part of the show, but we did honor the fallen and the true patriots of this country. Okay, but I decided to do it a little earlier this year.
Well, some of us honored them. A certain somebody else who's no longer with the show, yes, I understand, and it's okay to still have questions.
Sure.
I still have questions, but now is not the time to stir all the conspiracy shit. Now is the time to honor those who died, regardless of why or how they died. They did die. They were Saudis, but it wasn't the Saudi kingdom that attacked us. There's a lot of people who fall for Osama bin Laden's plan.
Yeah.
He wasn't a dumb man. He wanted to drive a wedge between us and the Saudi kingdom, because the Saudi kingdom and even the bin Laden family disowned and stripped Osama of his Saudi citizenship. So to get back at the Saudi kingdom, he recruited other disaffected Saudis. He could have recruited Afghanis or Pakistanis, but by recruiting Saudis, there's a lot of people who fall for exactly what he was intending, to blame Saudi Arabia because they were Saudis. Are you that clueless?
Joseph, you're always going to get, you coined the term, right? Truth deniers or something like that. I forgot what you had said last year on last year's show when we were remembering, 9/11. But you're always going to have your doubters, right?
The 9/11 truthers, and I didn't coin that.
Yeah.
So I don't know who it is, but yeah.
I thought that was you.
9/11,
Yeah, I thought that was you. Yeah,
9/11. I'm happy to take credit when I coined a term, and I wish I knew who did. I mean, that popped up long ago, and I mentioned it in terror strikes coming soon to a city near you. But I don't dwell on it. You can't have a book on terrorism and talk about 9/11 without at least mentioning it. But I could have made my character a 9/11 truther to be controversial, to get clicks, right? But it's controversial in different ways. I didn't want to go there because if I'd have done that, then it would have been labeled an Alex Jones book, So I didn't want to go down that road, but you have to at least acknowledge them, or you're not writing an honest book.
Yeah, I mean, plain and simple. You have to remember it, like it was yesterday, because it literally, it's been a long time ago. I mean, we're going on, 22 years, folks, since, the attack on American soil from cowardly terrorists that they did this, Joseph, to literally try to bury our spirit of this nation. Okay. And to be honest with you, our spirit, is somewhat broken to this day. But do you think it was the Saudis that did that, or was it more of us doing it to ourselves?
I absolutely flat out reject the blame America bull. You can't blame America here. We're not completely blameless. I mean, don't get me wrong. I got to be careful what I say, how I say it. So, yes, are we blameless? No.
Right.
But are we fully to blame? Hell no. We didn't invite it. We didn't bring it on ourselves. Were there people in the government that knew it was coming and didn't say anything because for their own agenda, they wanted to allow it to happen? Again, these are all questions it's okay to have, but now is not the time to deal with those questions. Like I say in my upcoming The Liberty Beacon piece for this Saturday, again, the 9th, it will be September 9th. Now is the time to focus on those that died. They are casualties of war. Even though they may not have recognized we were at war, most in America weren't paying attention because of the coal that was attacked before it and other Al-Qaeda attacks before it. They were at war with us, and we weren't fully acknowledging it. And those people went to work that day, became casualties of a missile strike, more or less, planes used as missiles. And again, Project Bojinka, we knew that they were looking to use planes as weapons, but we didn't connect all those dots to know that this was coming. It was a brilliant plan. I mean, strategically, militarily speaking, I have to give them props for what they did. And again, like I say in the book, we're dealing with immigration. Had we enforced our immigration laws then, 9/11 might have been prevented. They all overstayed visas. If we rounded their asses up and shipped them out, they wouldn't have been here to hijack those planes.
Oh, yeah. All right, we could have eliminated all of this, some 20-something years ago. I mean, we could have. We could have had more policy, better policy in play by TSA that we have now. I mean, because our security process right now in airports all over the country is like top notch. I mean, they screen everything from little children to adults, even babies I've seen being screened. I mean, literally. I mean, you cannot pass those screen metal detectors, right, without being processed and screened. That's what they should have done a long time ago that they have now. We could have eliminated all of that,
I want to disagree with you to a small degree. TSA is unnecessary and unconstitutional. Creating Homeland Security to bring all the agencies under one umbrella so they would communicate made sense, but some of the redundancy should have been eliminated and wasn't. So again, it was just another grow government excuse. TSA wasn't needed. They could have indeed increased strict regulations and requirements of existing airport security. Because today we do tests and weapons get through all the time. TSA is thousands standing around. They're worthless. Like you said, I mean, they're feeling up young children rather than paying attention to anyone who is actually acting suspiciously. So that was an unnecessary, again, government overreach, government boondoggle. But yes, had we upheld our immigration law, it wouldn't happen. Had we stepped up our procedures and our security as it even existed then, it could have been prevented. The left still hasn't learned that lesson. We see the same thing with crime today, right?
Yeah.
Like with Rudy Giuliani, the broken windows policy, as it became known as. I've said it, broken windows. Had we upheld the immigration law, they wouldn't have been here to do what they did. Same with all these other crimes. Rudy Giuliani, you get the turnstile jumpers, you get the window breakers, you get the graffiti vandalists. Those are usually the same people committing other crimes or escalate to other crimes.
But you got to remember something, Joseph. But you got to remember something, Joseph. Like when Rudy Giuliani was the mayor of New York City, the crime was at a historic low. There was very little crime. The vandals really, the crime rate, if anything, was about like 3.5% in New York City back then.
No, it was at a historic high.
I mean, look at the crime now.
It was at a historic high until Giuliani took over and instituted the broken windows policy, which cleaned up the city and made it a tourist capital.
But
you're right. It's back to shithole again now. It's a shithole because they undid all of Giuliani's good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Rudy Giuliani kept it down. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, he kept it down.
Huh. How long have you been tracking our car's value with Carvana?
Just like 7 months.
Should we sell it?
We hold.
Hold.
Silver vans are going for more right now. Should we?
Our low mileage is paying off. You think we should?
Hold.
Depreciation's really heating up. You think? We just did 2.5%!
Hold! Now!
I'm on it.
Already sold to Carvana.
Go to Carvana and track your car's value today.
What's this? Huh. Whoa, what? Has your name always been Hulu Has Live Sports? I guess so.
New name, same man. Meet Jalen, Hulu Has Live Sports.
It's on me. I got y'all. Yes, sir. Hulu Plus Live TV, your favorite place to watch live TV.
Yeah, I want you to check out this video, guys. Check out this video of the cockpit now not answering their phone. And this is when things took into mark. That's when we knew something was up. Yeah, check this video out, guys.
Our number 1 has been stabbed, and our 5 has been stabbed. I am going to call from Washington. I am in a situation where American is under possible hijack. What's going on, Betty? The aircraft is erratic again. Problem, very erratic. Betty, talk to me. Betty, are you there? Betty? Betty? The plane just what? 737? What? Like the World Trade Center. Who are you talking to? Oh, God. Oh, my God.
All right, guys, what you're witnessing right now is the actual communication from a control tower, okay, to the cockpit of that airplane during this day, okay? And they were trying to get communication, as you could hear the communicator through the control tower. Betty, are you there? Betty, are you there?
Yeah.
No answer.
Yeah, no,
repeatedly.
Correction. It wasn't with the cockpit. They were locked out of the cockpit. Communication with the cockpit was lost. Betty was calling from the hostess station on an airphone.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that communication.
So I want to fast forward. Yeah, I want to fast forward a little bit of this, guys, and show you exactly, the timeline of all this. Not to stir up the whole show with this, but just to give you insight of, because a lot of people, even to this day, we have some,
younger people don't know.
Yeah, they don't know. They've never seen this footage. Just a lot of this footage that I'm showing you guys have been lost on the internet, through YouTube, and some of it's there, some of it isn't. But I just want to show you this, guys, because I think it's important to enlighten here the audience and listeners of Savage Unfiltered. Check this out, guys.
Thanks to my parents and everybody. And I just totally love you, and I'll see you later. Bye, babe.
Yeah, that's more airphone calls.
That's rare footage, Joseph. Shaky and I had to dig up this footage, like literally on the internet. This is footage that you would not normally see on YouTube. A lot of it, like I said, guys, has been lost over the course of 20 plus years now, where they're actually showing you, real in-depth conversation between folks that were crew members on that plane, contacting their loved ones, saying goodbye. They'll never see them again. I mean, Joseph, that's heartbreaking, man. When you hear somebody on the phone, such as a brother, a sister, a mother, a father, an uncle, just to name a few. I mean, that has to be the most, heartbreaking thoughts racing through their heads.
Some people, 22 years later, still have their loved ones recording on their answering machine. They will not delete it because that's their only connection to that loved one anymore. Some of them had no remains to bury. Their only connection is that recording left on their machine. There was nothing to bury. There's empty grave markers there. So, and that's the other thing with the hijacked planes. Policy to that point changed after 9/11, but because Project Bojinka was interrupted, if you don't know what that is, you could find out about it in my Terror Strikes Coming Soon to a City Near You book as part of the historical part of the historical fiction book, or as I call it, faction. Part fact, part fiction. Project Bojinka didn't blow up a plane over the ocean like they planned to do. So policy remained that if there was a hijacking, the thought would be that, as in the past, hijackers would demand a plane land and hold the plane hostage to have prisoners released, because that's what terrorists had done for decades. 9/11, of course, brilliantly changed that dynamic.
Yeah, and you know, for those that ever seeing these plugs, guys, we're putting these plugs in these QR codes, guys. I highly suggest you check it out on SavagedArmy.com. Scan this QR code, guys. You are literally hearing a man that's been devoted to politics for well over 40 years. The man, the myth, the legend, Joseph M Lenard here on the show. Highly suggest you check it out. I can't emphasize it more than enough. But guys, I want to plug in this clip here. If you have been checking us out on Rumble here, you notice I just put this this image on here with Mayday, Mayday. Now, this is a call, folks. Again, I think it's necessary to show these clips and these videos because it's very, very important for those that are not aware of what really happened 20-some-odd years ago. Now, this is a call from the cockpit to the control tower, guys. Check this out.
United 93, Cleveland, if you hear the center right then.
I got that piece of dock. Keep remaining steady. You have a ball boat.
Tuesday, 9:47 a.m.
Hi, baby. Baby, you have to listen to me carefully. I'm on a plane that's been hijacked. I'm on the plane. I'm calling from the plane. I want to tell you I love you. Please tell my children that I love them very much. And I'm so sorry, babe. I hope to be able to see your face again, baby. I love you. Bye.
We're 56865. We have, I believe it is a Boeing 757. Can you see him up there, sir?
That's confirmed. It looks like he's rocking his wings.
Roger.
He's rocking back and forth.
We're 56865. I advise you stay away from that aircraft. Go north as fast as you can.
United 93, have you got information on that yet?
Yeah, he's down.
He's down?
Yes.
When did he land?
He did not land.
Oh, he's down?
Yes, somewhere up northeast of Camp David.
Now, folks, this is like I said, this is very rare footage that you're seeing here on the show. I'm not doing this to be a show that's putting this out first. I'm not that type of person. But this is exactly the timeline from the call to Betty to the second plane to eventually the World Trade Center buildings coming down. Again, the thoughts, Joseph. I mean, this is it's heartbreaking. It really is. It's a devastation that should have never took place. In this
and again now,
country.
Can you imagine being someone who wasn't there to answer that call when it came and got that message later and turned on your TV to see what happened? How heartbreaking that would be to say, oh my God, if only I could have been here and spoken to my loved one live that last time. There is such a thing as survivor's guilt that causes PTSD and suicidal thoughts. I go into all that in the book. Now, again, to not just make this about 9/11, because some haven't learned the lessons, we can relate that to today. It's the same damn thing with the escalation of crime. When you don't lock up criminals, how the fuck are you surprised that more people are dying at the hands of criminals, leaving yet behind more widows and orphan children that could still be alive because you fascocrats, Soros DA morons refuse to lock up murderers and rapists, let alone petty criminals that then, if you let them get away with it, escalate to other crimes. This isn't surprising. This isn't rocket science. It isn't brain surgery. But the brain-dead motherfucking high hallucination left can't figure this shit out.
Yeah, you know, Joseph, it's disgusting that what we've become as a nation, you know, now, you know, that we have to show videos like this as remembrance. Not to say, you know, look what those bad people did to our city of New York City some 20-something years ago. You know, we're not doing this to try to be like, you know, look what they did. Now we have to be more united. No, this is a remembrance, folks, of what people will do to a country such as the United States of America to try to bring our spirit down. And I hate to tell you, Joseph, and I can't believe this is coming out of my own mouth, but the spirit of America is not like it was on that day, September 11th, 2000.
No,
it's not.
I'm glad you said that.
Not now.
No, and that's part of the point of my book. I mean, 3,000-ish died that day. And how many more died in the aftermath of that? But that's nothing compared to what the American left is doing to our own nation today. Al-Qaeda ain't shit compared to American modern fascocrats. They are allowing the fentanyl to pour across our border, and 3,000 more than that, more than a 9/11, every single day are dying to fentanyl in our country. That could be and should be at least attempted to be reduced, if not stopped. We're never going to stop it entirely, but they aren't even trying to do anything about it. And these immigrants allowing more terrorists in, the general crime, nearly a 9/11 a month in the cities of Chicago and LA and New York and Baltimore, and yes, even Detroit, the area I'm from, dying a month due to crime out of control, that the left coddles the criminals, just like now they're coddling the terrorists. Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, they're trying to give a plea deal to let him out of the death penalty. They coddle bad behavior. They reward bad behavior. And us good citizens, they persecute, like Trump.
Here's a question for you. Just how far are the radical left and inside the Beltway bandits willing to go to stop him? We all know they hate him for winning the fight to protect life, for exposing their deep state, for draining their precious swamp. And they already know he'll crush Biden. So like a pack of rabid wolves, they attack. So let's impeach him. Let's get tainted radical left prosecutors to charge him. Let's conspire with Hillary and the FBI with fake stories about him. All to distract from Biden's incompetence, weakness, and money-grabbing corruption. But here's the thing, he'll never blink. That's called having the courage of your convictions. And it's why he's our president.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Yeah, I see that. You know, but here's something right now, Joseph. You know, I don't wish anything bad to happen to the United States of America. I really don't. I can't stand the violence, the high levels of violence. I can't stand the mayhem, the chaos. I can't stand any of that. But here's something to think about. Okay, folks, and please understand that I'm not provoking this and I don't want anything bad to happen to America. But do you think it's going to take possibly another 9/11 or anything in that aspect to truly have our country united again?
I fear that may be true. And you know what? Our enemies also learned, right? We went to war we invoked Article 5 of NATO, and the world went to war against them. They don't want that again either. So, in some respects, I don't think they would want to do or hit us with another 9/11. They want a death by 1,000 cuts. Hence, terror strikes coming soon to a city near you. They're going after softer targets, right? A death by 1,000 cuts, because the left especially overlooks it. That's isolated. No.
It's an old samurai term too. Death by 1,000 cuts. Like they literally, folks. If you're not aware of what Joseph's talking about, I want to pigeon off of the old samurai term. A samurai would literally use their samurai sword and cut you 1,000 times. The first cut was really the most important cut. You would learn from it, and then as the cuts would go by, it would break you down as a man or a woman, and it would break your soul, and it would break you as a character. I think that's what you're going at, right, Joseph? That's what they want to do, yeah.
Exactly what I'm talking about here.
Yeah.
And again, allowing, if you don't see the cuts as a collective attack threat, that eventually all those cuts either force you to give up, which we can't do, or kills you, which we can't allow. You have to take and pay attention to those first cuts and say, no. We're ending this now. We're not allowing that 5th, 10th, 100th, 900th cut. Neville Chamberlainism. I go in the book, right? Some people never learn. You appease an enemy, right? In the old parlance, give an inch, they take a mile. If you don't nip it in the bud, you're going to deal with it forever.
You make a good point here as we close it off here, guys, with this episode of 9/11 and the remembrance of it. And it's very important, too, because, you just mentioned something very, very, you made a point. Like, we never learned. I think 9/11 was put in place, whether you want to say it was through the Almighty God or through a spiritual tense, to try to waken us up. No, not folks, not woke. Waken us up as a country to get us to understand who we are as an Americans, okay? We don't have to love one another, but damn it, respect one another. Honor those that literally paid their hearts and their sacrifice on that day of 9/11. Honor those people. You don't have to love them, but respect the hell out of those people. Okay, respect people. If you don't like the argument, walk away from it. This events like 9/11 should be looked at as a high matter, Joseph. To get it fully. You know what I mean?
And it's not just 9/11. Again,
anything, any event. Yeah.
Neville Chamberlain. People didn't learn. 9/11. People didn't learn. Today, this wokish shit. What you allow, you will get more of. If we don't act against it now, they are destroying us from within. If you do not get off your ass and be involved, you are part of the problem. You are allowing it. Like Edmund Burke said, all needed for evil prevail is good peoples do nothing. Get off your ass. Get off the computer. Now, obviously, we want you watching the show. And occasional distractions are not just okay. They're good. You need occasional distractions. But what I mean is you can't spend all your time virtue signaling online like a woke snowflake. People on the right do
we
that
see a lot
too.
of that.
You've got to get off your ass. You've got to go to the school boards and raise holy hell about your parental rights. You've got to go to your city council meetings. You've got to get in the face of your representatives and be heard. You can't just whine online. You've got to go to the GOP committee meetings and weed out rhinos that are just as bad as fascocrats so we get better.
Yeah, and Joseph just fit in the voids for me because I was just about to put in a segment here of Joseph's Truth or Consequences. He literally read my mind. I mean, clearly just finished off the show with his Truth or Consequences segment. Guys, if you like this episode, please hit that like and follow button. It means a lot to both of us and everybody that's part of the show here. And you want to check more about the show, check us out online, guys, at savagedunfiltered.com. We also have a website for our merchandise, savagedarmy.com, which is also on the main website of savagedunfiltered.com. So check that out, guys. And please, guys, leave us a review. It helps us out. With that being said, guys, thanks very much for tuning in and keep it savaged. And see you later. Take it easy.